This guy was sitting mere feet away from Konstantin Kisin during his debate with CatDany. When you hear what he has to say, it is scary to think how this could have gone.
I was like fucking locked onto his eyes, and he kept like glancing down at me and then like breaking eye contact. Because I fucking hate the guy. I was just like, I wanted to kill him.
I stumbled upon this stream when I was just trying to research and understand the opposing view, and I was shocked by some of the things this guy was saying. Keep in mind, this guy was sitting in Konstantin's eye line.
And I think he got distracted by that and didn't pay attention to a single thing.
What are things that?
Yes, it is just talk, but there is something more disturbing beneath the surface here.
Okay.
He's openly talking about wanting to assassinate Konstantin. This could have gone very differently. He even has a box cutter or X-Acto knife.
I should have done. Stanley Blade just fucking sprinted up onto the stage, slash Konstantin in the fucking jugular.
But he wants to kill him.
What the fuck is wrong with him?
You can see the chat. They're all thinking the same
What
thing.
the hell is wrong with him?
No one seems to be bothered by this because it has become so commonplace.
Yeah.
He knows he can do this. YouTube's not going to do anything.
Done. Sorted. Prison forever on the one hand. Prison forever on the one hand. And then I should have gone. Then I should have gone woke jihad. Woke jihad. I should have gone for the white race or something. I don't know.
The thing is that I think that there's a lot of people who have intrusive thoughts like that, but it's very different when you have a person verbalizing them inside of a community that is telling them that their intrusive thoughts are good. I think that's a massive, massive difference.
Say, oh, okay, well, he just worded that poorly. It's just
On
an expression,
camera,
but
yeah.
he takes this much farther.
Wait,
then
what?
he gets into, based on what happened to Charlie Kirk, this is what I have learned when it comes to how to kill conservatives.
No, I feel like my genuine psychopath thought that I've learned from the Charlie Kirk killing is if you are going to assassinate a political target, then try to reduce the gore as much as possible so
Why?
people can't sympathize with the bastard who's getting it. So you'd have to go up with like a cape and like cover him in a cape and do it cleanly under there, you know, like a
What, like a Reaper ult in Overwatch? Like, what? What are you talking about? That doesn't even make sense. It's so stupid.
like an abattoir.
So he's literally
Yeah.
openly talking about assassinating political targets here.
Uh-huh.
So the question is, well, why? That's what I wanted
Because
to
he's
understand.
mad,
That's
doesn't
why
like
I
him.
take the time to
Yeah,
even
it's
look
pretty
at
obvious.
these streams.
It's all like dog whistling. We need to secure a future for the white people.
Yeah.
He makes it very clear. His belief is Constantine is a racist.
And all it is appealing or dog whistling to the stupidest voters, like the dumbest 10% of people
Yeah.
who happen to be racist as well. Stick up for racism.
Then he talks about the real problem here is the weak white culture of the UK.
We simply don't have the white people stepping up and educating themselves in the right kinds of ways because of culture issues, I guess, because of the weak white culture.
He is the very thing he thinks he is fighting against.
Yeah.
His entire analysis of
This is the hyper-moralization of politics. They dehumanize their opponents so they're able to morally justify violence against them. I think that that's also a really big component to it, but I think that this is happening all over the internet. Like, somewhere along the line, it became acceptable to effectively, send death threats. And there's never really any consequences for this anymore, which is what I think is really so surprising. Like, you would expect to see somebody like this that, like they get banned or, they have in my opinion, I think people like this need to be put in a mental institution. Like, you can't have a functioning society with people that are advocating to kill everybody else that they disagree with. You just can't, you can't have that. And again, the thing is that it's built on this premise that these people will never act on this behavior. Most of them won't. But do you want to live next to one of these people? Do you want one of these people to be feeling that way about you? I don't think that they do. intrusive thoughts does this to someone, I think everybody has intrusive thoughts, but the problem is that a person who's willing to verbalize them and then talk about them and then legitimize them in front of an audience of people while they're broadcasting it, that's a person who has a profound lack of decision-making capabilities. Like, their decision-making is impaired. And I think that's really what's happening here. And that's what makes them dangerous.
Dean's ideas are absolutely mischaracterized.
Yeah, exactly.
He's not contending with them at all. And then he uses those ideas as his justification.
Based on these fucking ideas, for me to vote for the Green candidate, you retard piece of shit, Constantine. I fuck like slap, mug, you mug.
Well, the thing.
This provides us a window into this mentality, into the psychology of people like this. It's important to understand. It's important to see.
We hadn't also at the same
It's
time.
not complicated. They just want to attack people and kill people that they disagree with. It's really not complicated at all. It's super simple.
Had the doctrine.
A lot of this would be much easier to manage if I got on that stage, grab his fucking lapels, right, hip in, and fucking ip on, bang, right over. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about right over my hip. Constantine's right over my hip. I've got his fucking lapel. Bang.
Is this guy that bad?
Understand it. Even if you disagree with Constantine, how could what he's saying upset you this much?
Because they're mentally ill. The people that behave this way are not mental. Like, you can't treat them the same as you would treat a reasonable person. This person is not reasonable. You can't reason a person out of a position they didn't reason themselves into. So you can't explain and rationalize why this person is doing something because there's no rationality to begin with. This is like, well, why did the pit bull attack the baby? It's a fucking dog. What do you mean? It's what they do.
You're right. By the lapels, fucking hoof.
Yeah.
Right, I'm talking bang. And his whole body just goes bosh into the fucking wood. That's what I'm saying.
People will claim this guy doesn't have a massive reputation, okay? But we see these same ideas reflected at a higher level.
Well, the thing is that violence and the advocation of violence has been completely normalized. And I think the best example you can use for that is you can look at the Tesla bombings. And you can even see now, like, look at the amount of people that, like, you know, that Thailand ship, right? Like, there was the one that got attacked in the Strait of Hormuz. Look at how many leftists did not condemn Iran for attacking a ship that had nothing to do with the war. These were civilians on a civilian ship carrying, as far as I know, either no supplies or civilian supplies. And the ship is not correlated or associated at all with either one of the parties that are in the conflict. Everybody with any sort of a basic moral compass should be able to look at that and say, yeah, I don't think that you should be supporting that. That's really bad that Iran attacked the ship. They don't do that. And why is that? It's because they agree with what's happening. That's the reason why.
Just yesterday, I stumbled on a stream where Destiny's head moderator is trying to talk to Destiny because he is concerned, because he is seeing too many calls for violence in their Discord server. And he's beginning to worry that people aren't actually joking.
Yesterday, I think Destiny referred to it as like kind of school shooter vibes going on as far as how people are talking in a way that makes people think that, like, not just radical and like, I'm so tired of people saying like, well, Trump did radicalize me. You should be radical under Trump. I'm talking about radical as in like gonna cause violence.
It's not, yeah, exactly. Like Trump doesn't make you like shoot up a random peaceful protester. It doesn't make you, you know, like advocate for killing people systematically. It's just crazy. That's just people excusing their behavior, looking for something that's going to give them a moral out.
In a way that isn't what everybody thinks it is, kind of way. And I know like your argument is like, well, people like Trump and things like that, like they can say this stuff openly, and like I completely understand that argument. My argument is that people aren't taking this serious, and if they are taking it serious and they are meaning the words that they're saying and they're not joking, that is the problem.
Well, the thing is also that they're also advocating for Trump to get put in jail. And these are people advocating to shoot Trump and stuff like that. So it's not like there's even any sort of consistency with them either. Like, they're also advocating for violence against the people that they disagree with anyway. So the real problem is that, and I don't even think this has anything to do with Destiny, right? It's just people on the internet, is that people on the internet think that this is something that's acceptable. And the reason why they think it's something that's acceptable is because it's become accepted. That's the reason why. Why does everyone watch this? I mean, it also doesn't make you violate human rights either. It's crazy people say Trump radicalized them. Seriously? Well, he made them mad, right? I mean, that's it. There's a lot of things that radicalize them. Who is they, though? People on the internet? What are you talking about? And also, like, and here's the other issue is that, so there's a permission system that exists on the internet and it exists in media that enables these people to perform these actions. And I'll use an example recently of how that permission structure is manifested. So if you look at the bombers, the two people that threw the bombs at Jake Lang, and then, in front of Mandami's house because he was a anti-Islam protester, and then they yelled Allahu Akbar. So the first thing that you saw happen is that on the internet, you had a bunch of anonymous accounts that were gassing up these terrorists, saying that they were sad the bombs didn't go off. Then after that, you have bigger influencers, basically framing the entire conversation around Jake Lang bringing this on himself and about how bad he is and about how they don't feel sorry for him. Then after that, you have the media that reframes, like, basically they do a, English sleight of hand where they call the bombers activists, and then they say the bombing happened in front of Mandami's home. And so it implies, based off of the title, that it's actually them bombing Mandami's home because he's a Muslim, but it's actually Muslims throwing a bomb at somebody for protesting against Muslims. And so then that happens. And then on top of that, then you have CNN anchors that go on the media and they go on the news and they say, well, terrorist things happen. And yeah, this is bad. But you can't condemn all Muslims. And it's like, nobody's even talking about that. Nobody's saying that. And so you have this entire permission structure that's created to rationalize and then also normalize this violence, and most important, protect the violence and lionize, or in one way or another, basically kind of appreciate it. I think that's a good way to say it. People appreciate the violence. And so that's really what happened. Same with George Floyd protests. Well, George Floyd was a little bit different than this, right? But they pledged allegiance to ISIS during arrest. Yes, exactly. Mandami lied and said it was a Muslim supremacist or white supremacist. Well, I don't care about what he was saying about Jake Lang, but what I'm saying is and then of course, Zoran Mandami comes out and he spends more time condemning the person who had a nail bomb thrown at him than the person who threw the nail bomb. That's the problem. So when I say they, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I mean. Very rarely, they do not, this is a puzzle, right? And so the entire thing doesn't happen through one person, but it's created in a permission structure through an aggregate. And that's an example of it happening this week. Does that make sense? Do you guys see where I'm coming from with this? Hopefully you guys can see this. You think you hate journalists enough? You do not? Yeah. Most people on your side believe this. Many people on the right believe all Muslims are bad. Yeah, and plenty of people on the left believe all white people are bad. Does that mean that you should base all of your decisions off of a radical minority of people? I don't think so. That's not what I would do.
Okay.
Everyone's joking, though.
But everybody's not joking, though. My concern is that we are vastly approaching point of no return in our own rhetoric within the community.
And they'll also get banned, too. It's another important component. And that's the reason why he's worried about it, too.
And I think that it is being furthered by us not addressing it.
I'm forced to ask myself, how is this, if YouTube is going to kick off people like we've seen them kick off, why is this tolerated?
Thank you.
Yeah, Constantine.
I mean, we introduced new things, so I don't know. I don't know what the monoculture
Any
is.
final thoughts?
People are going to claim, yeah, but this guy's not famous. He's not, no one really knows who he is. That's why. But
The problem is that the people that aren't famous are the ones doing the actions. They're like shock troopers that go out and effectively put their lives on the line, and then everybody else tries to run defense for them and then view them as a good actor. I think that's what happens.
how is that even relevant?
Yeah.
And multiculturalism, which have
It's a bad
instead of
action no matter what.
creating a monoculture into which people are encouraged to buy in and integrate, have instead created a society in which people are encouraged to see themselves as members of an individual community.
Yes.
He fails to see that he is the very thing he thinks his opponents are.
About 40 died. But this is what I hate about these people, is like they make a career,
Yeah.
right?
Career about what?
They make a career out of violent and aggressive politics and riling it up and stoking it up.
And this is their rationality, is that they think that the politics are aggressive, and the politics being aggressive rationalizes their aggression. That's what they're thinking.
So therefore we should take
Yes.
them out because they're
Yes.
riling things up. They're too full of hatred, so we should hate them.
That's the idea. Yes.
And then they're like, oh, thank you for letting me discuss the ideas and ruining your fucking country with all this bullshit.
Oh, so they're ruining your country, but Constantine can't have concerns about people ruining his country.
Yes.
I think that concepts like England were created in order for monarchs to consolidate power in their kingdoms.
And if this continues, it will only get worse.
And this could have gone very differently. How do people get to the point of what you're seeing in this video? Well, it all comes down to the laws of narrative. There's always going to be people that wish you harm. You just have to learn how
Well,
to spot.
the problem is that people like this used to just be completely sidelined by society and institutionalized, if not beat up and killed. That's the reality, is that crazy people that were violent and aggressive back in the old days used to hit their head with rocks to let the demons get out. Like that's what used to happen to these people. Like that's the reality. We don't live in that barbaric society anymore, but we've gone so far to the other side that we allow these people to, no, I mean, like you can laugh at it, like say it's crazy, but like it's true. Like these people need to be institutionalized for their own better judgment, right? Like it's for their own best interest that they're institutionalized.
Them. And if you're
That's
interested
right.
in these concepts, I do have a book coming out in August. I've been working on this for 2 years. I began writing it
Yeah,
when I was
crazy
still
take, but
a
true.
high
Yeah, it
school
is.
teacher. It's meant to be more of a methodology. The reality is we have opponents every day. I want it to be that kind of book that people carry around in their bag and it's like wrinkled up because they're using it and it's all marked up with annotations and notes. It examines
I'll link you guys the video.
the laws of narrative and how narrative leads people to what you're seeing in this video. The lessons I have found most valuable. So I'll put the link below if you're interested.
I think that a big component to it too, I like Warren. I've watched a couple of his videos before, and so you guys can take a look at it. They're also called When Eugenics Was a Thing. Yeah, exactly. Like these are the people that literally got lobotomies. Like they actually just lobotomized these people. Because like a civilized Western society cannot tolerate a person with no sense of self-control. Like you can't have a high trust society with people that don't have self-control. It's impossible to do that because if you do, then everything turns to shit. They're a threat to society. They are. They're a massive threat to society, and they are very dangerous because if you let them go and run wild, what happens is that they become even more violent and they hurt other people. And I think the biggest issue with what happens is that when they do something like that, people think, oh my God, how could we have known this? It was so obvious. It was so completely fucking obvious. Electric shock treatment too? Yeah, it was. And so I wish more people thought like that. And I don't think that we should lobotomize them or anything else. I just think that we need to institutionalize these people and keep them safe not only from everybody else, but also from themselves. These people will end up getting themselves killed. The guy in the video deleted his YouTube, maybe he got banned. I don't care about that. I don't care about him getting banned. It doesn't matter to me. What I do care about is making sure that people like that are institutionalized in a way that makes it to where they're not able to do anything wrong, right? I mean, that's what really matters. The other stuff is kind of irrelevant to me, if you want me to be honest.